Welcome back to Driven to Empower You. I'm your host, Willette M Hurst. If this is your first time coming to see us, welcome to the family. If you're returning, welcome back. We'd like to tell you that we're here. The reason why we do this show is because people are going through stuff more than they have ever been through in life. And it's good to hear somebody else's story that has made it to the other side. They have had major testimonies, major trials, tribulations, or anything that they had to endure, and they made it to the other side. So that's why we do this show. That's why we serve our guests. That's why we serve our audience. And we just want you to know, as always, whatever you're going through, know that it's a speed bump and not a stop sign. My guest is amazing, has an amazing testimony. She's an amazing woman. I've been knowing this guest for a mighty long time, and just found out I've been pronouncing her name wrong, and she never corrected me. But her name is Mary Franklin, born and raised in Venice, California. She's a mother, she's a grandmother, but more importantly, she's a warrior. She's a cancer survivor. She's a heart transplant recipient, and even more, she's my best. She's my big cousin. Welcome, Mary Franklin. Hey there.
Hey,
I didn't even know that I've been knowing you for 50 something years and been pronouncing your name wrong all these years.
I'll just let everybody just say whatever they want. I don't even
Wow.
correct them unless it's like something official or something. Then I'll put my real name. Like, yeah.
Oh, I was like, you said, I was thinking before the show, I said, I'm so used to calling her this, and now I got to call her that. But
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. You just gonna see funny now.
yeah, now I don't see funny, but because my name is different, I always try to give people respect how they want to be presented. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if I would have known 50 years ago I was pronouncing it wrong, I would have pronounced it correctly because the name is very important to who a person is. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? But
Yeah.
I've been knowing you a long time. We used to come over your house every weekend. I was that pain cousin that they just dropped us off at your house, and y'all was older than me, and I was a nosy little something.
That is true. That is true.
I was a nosy little. I want to know all the stuff that y'all was doing. I even remember
Girl,
you had your first real boyfriend back in the day. I was thinking about that.
we
I think
ain't talking about that.
I do. I remember that. But
Yeah.
so so we coming on here because you are a walking testimony. I remember you're a cancer survivor. You've had a heart transplant. But I also remember when years back when your mom was getting ready for work and your father passed away. Can you tell us how did that go?
Well, I wasn't there when he actually passed away. We just got the call saying that he had like fell out.
Hmm.
So, by the time we actually got to the hospital and stuff, he was already gone. He had passed away, but they said he just had a massive heart attack. But he was sick before that. We already knew that he was sick before that. But he wasn't really like taking care of himself like he was supposed to, doing what he
Hmm.
was supposed to be doing. So, things like that happen when you don't, do what you're supposed to do. And then he, used to drink on top of that. So that contributed to a lot of it.
Hmm.
So he passed away after that.
Hmm. And he was ready for your mom to go to work, and then he passed.
Well, yeah. Well, my mom said that they were well. Usually, he take my mom to work every morning, so they were up getting ready in the morning, like about 5:30 or 6 o'clock, I guess. And luckily, he did not get in the car and drive her. He just,
Wow.
it happened at the house because
Mhm.
it could have just been even worse if he would have been driving.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, it happened at home. So that was a blessing. It's a blessing one way, then it's not in another. So yeah.
Cause, but when you look at life, when stuff is bad, when we experience bad things, but then when you look at hindsight, then you can
Mhm.
say it could have always been worse.
Yes.
It could have been always been worse. How so that's a factor too with you having heart trouble, you think?
Well, they said that it was my issue is that it's hereditary from him. That
Mm.
yeah, it's hereditary. So I had an enlarged heart anyway. I
Mm.
didn't even know that until I actually started having these issues, like the heart problems. How I found out that I even had the heart problem is because one day I was just at work and I was telling one of my coworkers, I was like, I'm not feeling good. I feel like kind of funny or something, and I just started swelling up. My legs started swelling up, so I was just gonna continue to work. Like I'm gonna just keep on working, even though I wasn't, feeling good. But something just told me go home.
Mm.
So I said, no, I'm gonna go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor. When I went to the doctor, they gave me an EKG because I was swollen. So they were like, oh, no, you have to go to the emergency right now. So they gave me like 5 bare aspirins and told me to go to the emergency. So when I went to the emergency, they diagnosed me as saying that my heart, I had a infection in my heart.
Mm.
I was supposed to recover from the infection in my heart, but I guess it just was worse with the heart being enlarged on top of that. Mind you, I used to smoke cigarettes too back then too, which didn't
Mm.
help the issue. But so I just was going through, the process of, all of that, not taking the medication, seeing the cardiologist, but my heart started getting worse and worse and worse. And I was just in and out the hospital, in and out the hospital for various reasons for the heart until they said, okay, you need to get a transplant. So they put me on I had to go through the workup, all the blood work, everything. When I tell you everything, to get on the transplant list is just by itself is even stressful. But I did all of that, and they put me on the transplant list, and they were looking for me a heart, but the heart, it wasn't coming. I didn't get no heart, and mind you, that it's a lot through the process of even trying to get the heart because it's not just it's blood work and everything else in your body has to be almost perfect in order for you to even get the heart. So
Mm.
that was my issue. My kidneys was fine, everything was fine, lungs was fine, everything was fine. It was just my heart, so that's why they just put me on the list. But during that time still I started declining still, so they said, okay, we're going to give you we're going to give you the LVAD. You qualify for the LVAD. So, okay, I went through all of that, even another workup with the LVAD, and well, they did the surgery. I had the first surgery in 2016, and actually, I had two surgeries because the first surgery didn't go so well. I started hemorrhaging inside after the first surgery, so they had to go back in and fix whatever was going on with that. And I was in ICU for probably like I would say like maybe a month. I'm not sure, like really. I have to look back on my dates, but for a long time I was in ICU trying to recover from that. And then I was working, working, went back to working everything with my machine and everything because I said, I'm not gonna be able to do anything. I'm gonna live with this machine. I don't want to, I don't want to go outside, this and
Mm.
that. Once I got, once I got to getting used to the LVAT,
Mm.
I used to sling that little crossbody bag over my shoulder and go about my business.
Can you explain to people what a LVAC, what that is?
LVAD is a living assistant device, and it's a little bitty machine that sits inside of your heart, and it pumps the blood for your heart because that's what was going on with me is that my left ventricle was damaged. It was gone. It was that was the problem.
Mhm.
So it's a little machine that sits in, and it's a cord that come out of your stomach, and it's attached to batteries.
Mm. And you had to carry that around everywhere you went.
And yes, and actually they give you like a machine that you can hook up at nighttime, and so you can go to sleep, but you have to, you go to the bathroom with it and everything. So it was 24 hours. I
How
had to
long?
live with that.
How long did you have that bag?
So I had the surgery in 2016. I had it for 6 years until I just got the heart in. When did I have the heart? In last year.
So you just recently had the heart surgery.
Last year, July the 7th. Last year is when I had the heart. So it's been a little over a year that I had the heart. Yeah.
Right. So how did you feel when they first told you about that you needed the transplant?
Well, I was like worried, you know. I was like, oh my God, I don't even know if I'm gonna survive it. I'm like older, you know, all of these type of thoughts is going through. But I just was pushing through, and I was just doing whatever my doctor told me to do. I was not playing no games. Like, okay, go to my doctor's appointment, take my medication like I'm supposed to, and just doing what I'm supposed to do.
Mhm.
And I just prayed on it, you know. I prayed on it, prayed on it, prayed on it. Like, okay, you know. And I said, if God want me to live, I'll be here, you know.
Mhm. So how did it? So you had the heart transplant just the last year. Let's go back a little bit further. You also
Mhm.
had You also a cancer survivor.
Well, that was in like 84. But actually they were saying, okay, I had cancer then, and they were giving me some kind of treatments, and I was young back then and didn't really know like really what it was all about, what I was really doing. But when I got on the list for the transplant list, I had to see the cancer doctors and everything, and they were telling me, you never had cancer. We don't see anything that's saying that you ever had cancer before. So that is kind of like, I'm still kind of like trying to figure that out. Like, how is the one person doctor gonna tell me one thing like that that's serious, and then now you're saying no, it's not. You know, I
Did
never
they
did.
give you treatment for it?
Well, they was giving me some kind of shots. That's what I'm saying. Like back in then, I can't really remember the name of what they were giving me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but yeah, I did for like a couple of months, and then yeah, it was just like I was just like a regular cancer patient. My hair came out, everything. Like it was a struggle then. I've been through a lot.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy because people like people always say you don't look like what you've been through. But both those two diagnoses that you got, it
Hmm.
is devastating for a person to get one of them.
Yeah.
But you